What is going on, my beautiful people? As you can see by the title of this video, I will be talking about my experience after delivering the baby. So let's get started. So during my pregnancy, if you guys saw my video of delivering the baby, I did explain how I, at the end of the pregnancy, had something called preeclampsia. For those of you who don't know what preeclampsia is, it's something that gives you high blood pressure. It's pretty much a disease, or is it a disease? A sickness, something that gives you high blood pressure, and it also swells you up a lot. It was really scary dealing with that, also because I lost so much blood during the delivery that I had to get iron through the IV, and so much happened. I was in the hospital for a total of 5 days, and in those total of 5 days I was with the baby. The first 2 days I was still pregnant. I delivered on the second day, and then the third day and the fourth day the baby was still there in the hospital. The fourth day he didn't spend the night with me that fourth day, but the night before he did, and we spent so much time bonding to me, and it was a beautiful and a blessing moment, but it also made me grow attached to the baby. So once the baby was released from the hospital that night, I was just a mess. I was like, since when they had arrived to pick up the baby, I was just so sad about everything, and the next day I just didn't want to be in the hospital anymore. It was so depressing being there and not being able to see him or have him around. So I cried a lot, and thank God I had a great support that day with me, because that got me through like a lot of emotions. And when I was finally released, it was on a Friday. I remember coming home and it was like, I'm gonna cry, you guys. I really don't want to cry, but I came home and it was such a big change. I was still pretty swelled up. I have pictures that I took in the hospital with the baby, and also the power of attorney that came to pick up the baby, and you couldn't recognize my face because of how swelled up I was. It was actually way worse than during my pregnancy, but also I was under so many fluids, and so many medication was given to me, and it was super bad. But thank goodness that now I am so much better. I am in a healthier place mentally and physically, because at the moment I was so sad during those first 2 weeks. It was really hard for me, not because I wanted to have the baby with me or anything like that. It's just that I was so attached, and I was like, oh my God, I let him go, and how did I do this in the first place? And I was with him for so long, and I didn't know who he was until I met him when he was born. So that was really hard. Also, coming back home and still having all these changes in my body, and then feeling so empty, like not carrying him around anymore or feeling his kicks, was really hard for me. I really couldn't bring him up without crying. I am just so emotional and so sensitive. And I remember my daughters, they didn't get to meet him in person, but the oldest one got to meet him through FaceTime. I think that was the best decision, because they actually didn't get so attached as I thought they would. The little one till this day still rubs my belly, which is kind of embarrassing because I'm not pregnant. So sometimes when we go out and she's still rubbing my belly, I'm pretty sure people probably think she's probably pregnant or something, and I'm not. But yeah, the first 2 weeks were really hard. And after time, I remember that before having the baby, I thought I was gonna have him early because this is my third baby. I'm pretty active, more than my previous pregnancies, and I thought I was going to deliver him earlier. So I started booking flights, and the first one that I booked was to go to Mexico to see my brother so my daughters can meet him, just because I knew I was going to be on vacation, or that family leave that you get after having a baby. And it was actually like 2.5 weeks out after having my baby, and I was really scared to go because I thought it was too soon. And I don't know if you guys know how Mexicans, the tradition is to really take care of yourself when you're those first 40 days after delivering the baby. So since I really took care of myself after my daughters, I was really worried to go out there. and I was just like still really sad about everything. But it was perfect that everything worked out that way, because being out there really did keep my mind off of the baby. And then also my birthday was like probably a week after or two after coming back from Mexico, so I already had plans to go out as well, and those really did help me going out. And I'm glad I did it before having the baby, because I felt if I would have tried to do it during those moments that I was sad, I would have probably been like, no, I don't feel like going right now, and like being pretty down. But going out and hanging out with my family and having my support there with me was a big help. And I'm not gonna say I don't miss him, because I do. Thinking back brings so much memories, but I promise I am not as mentally sad and like thinking about it as often as I used to. Now there's other things and plans in my mind, and I really still think of him with love, and I still pray for him, and I know he's going to be fine, and I know his dad is like super happy to have him. So I know some of you are probably like, hey, what did you do after your pregnancy to, like, you know, take care of yourself and things like that. I bought 2 girdles that were pretty much full body length, and I had a large one and a medium one. And what I was doing is every time I would shower, I would use my girdles and make sure I wear them at least for 5 hours a day. That did help my stomach, because I was so bloated and so swelled up, and I was drinking a ton of water. I have always been really disciplined when it came to vitamins. There are days that I miss it, but for the most part, I do drink them pretty often. So I'm still pretty consistent, and I feel like drinking vitamins, drinking water, trying to eat somewhat healthy will really help you. And another thing that I have to say for you ladies, whether you are whether you're having a baby or being a surrogate mom or whatever the case is, don't stress on how you're going to lose weight, when you're going to get back on working out or anything like that, because you will not be satisfied and you will be miserable and unhappy if you don't just take care of yourself and just focus on your mental health and the kids that you have now. Like for me, my 2 daughters, I don't know if this would be your first time being a mom or not, but focus on your family and the people around you, the people that love you, and go out and do things for yourself that will really help you feel and look better. Just don't worry about getting back to working out fast, because some women overdo it, that they burn themselves out, they're miserable, they're unhappy with themselves. And this time I really did take the time to just wait until I was healed to get back to working out. I would walk here and there, I would do little things, but I till this day I have not lifted any weights. All I have been doing is body weight workouts and walking a lot, using my treadmill or going out for walks. And I did move to just a waist girdle, a faja, what we call it. And when I first got it, my first one was a large one, and now I'm down to a medium one. I'm actually wearing it now, and I feel like now I can fit into the second part of the faja, but right now I'm just wearing it on the last part. I literally just got this like 2 or 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks ago, and I've been wearing it, and now it's starting to feel loose again, so it's time to move it to the second one, which I'm really happy. I did not lose weight this fast when it came to my girls. It took me a while, and I feel like the reason for that is because I was so worried with them, and I also didn't have like a workout routine before getting pregnant or after the pregnancy. I just kind of did my regular activity. And with this pregnancy it was different, because I had been working out prior to the pregnancy. I wasn't too consistent, but I already had that muscle memory. And then during the pregnancy I also tried to keep pretty active until towards the end, because also in the beginning I was really sick with the pregnancy. I remember also in the beginning when I started my hormones and my medications and everything, I was so emotional. I would cry for anything. I would really feel like wanting to back out, even though I knew I wasn't going to back out. But I had so many doubts and I had so much fear that I did go through it, and that's something that I also didn't talk about that much. I was strong to the point where I knew I wanted to do this. I was sure about it, and I knew I was doing it with all the love and all the faith in the world. But the hormones, or I don't know if it was me or the hormones, me trying to blame the hormones, but it did get to me, and the beginning of the process was really scary. And then when I overcame it, everything was perfectly fine. I was just very sick and didn't really gain much weight until up until like the 7th or 8th month, and that's when I started like just swelling up. But it was due to the preeclampsia, and it wasn't even detected that early. So that was really scary for me to find out last minute when I was already delivering. I don't know, my body just didn't show any signs of it before that, but I knew there was something wrong as soon as I started noticing the swelling and how it would hurt to walk. Another thing, you guys probably will believe me because I did get super big with the pregnancy, but I went up to 211 pounds, and I dropped most of that weight within that first month because it was mostly water weight. That's why I say do not worry about your weight. Do not worry about anything, because you don't know if it's mostly the baby, if it's mostly blood, because it does produce twice as much while you're pregnant. Or you don't know if it's whatever the case may be. Just don't stress it. Your body, accept it the way it is and love it, and trust that it will do what it needs to do. It knows what to do when you're delivering the baby, when you're creating that baby inside of you, so it knows what to do after. So trust it and love yourself and focus on other things, on how to get back on your routine and how to stay healthy, especially mentally. Read some books, watch some good shows, and just enjoy your baby if you're not a surrogate. And if you are a surrogate, yes, take your time to let all those emotions, to just cry, because I did. Even if like my mom or anybody would see me, they would be like really sad, like, why is she crying again? Is she okay? And I'll just be like, I'm fine, just let me cry, let me get past this, and then I'll be fine. And I did get past it pretty fast, I think. I did seek for help to talk to a therapist, and I feel like so many things happen after having the baby that I really needed it. And it's not something new that I've done. I have seen a therapist before, and I really suggest anybody that is going through any hard times of their life to seek a therapist, because you don't know what beyond the feelings or the things that are going on in your life that are really affecting you. So if you guys want any more information regarding this, I am going to put the girdles that I use down below, link them if you guys are interested. But if there's any other questions you guys have, please feel free to drop them down in the comment box, and also like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.